So my parents want me to go and raise my sister's child. I know it sounds completely weird, right? Well, here's the thing. My sister was born sick. My parents always gave her the benefit of the doubt in every situation, but I'm telling you, just because she was sick doesn't mean she didn't know what was going on. She knew full well that she was taking advantage of my parents' kindness, and now she's trying to dump off her kid onto me while she still collects the child support from her rich ex-husband. And guys, that's only half of the story. After years of tormenting and troubling me, my sister wants something from me, and I don't even want to know what it is. I assume many people have had those certain relatives or even close family members that you just could not wait to get rid of. In my case, it was my whole family. Now they've come to me asking for help, and I don't know what to do. Actually, I do know what to do, but my lovely girlfriend thinks I'm wrong. That's the sole reason I'm even here on the interwebs, as I want to ask you guys who you think is right. I just can't ignore her input, and since you guys are unbiased, I'll feel good agreeing with what the most people suggest I do. So in short, I got tired of arguing over who was right and said let the internet decide. Many of you guys know better anyways. But to explain where I'm at right now, I need you to tell just how I got here. And that is my experience with my family. Spoiler alert, it's sad. So please prepare to have your mood ruined, also if it's a bit long, but I'll try to keep it as short as possible. Please bear with me. I'm Sully, and as soon as I was born, my fate was sealed. At least till I became a full adult. See, my parents, Rex and Haley, did not care about me at all, because I had a sibling who needed all of their care and attention 24/7. It might seem like I'm talking about a younger sibling, right? As most times they are the ones who get more love, but it's a bit different in my case. The person I'm talking about is my older sister, Rachel, and she's just 2 years older than me. From the time she was born, Rachel was a really weak and sick kid. My parents had to take special care of her, and as the years passed, she slowly did get better. But she only got fully healthy after finishing college. So she did need a lot of care for a long time. Now, I'm not telling you guys that I was jealous of her getting attention because she was sick, because that would be horrible, right? What I'm telling you guys is that I did not like the fact that my parents never even showed me that they cared once. I understood early on that my sister needed special care from them, but that did not give them the right to completely ignore my existence. To me, it felt like I was just in the background in the family and was born to help them to take care of my sister. I understood that they were always worried about her, and since I was healthy, they did not feel the need to care about me that much, but they literally never gave me any love or attention. I felt like sometimes they would forget about me fully, as they sometimes got surprised seeing me in my own room, not getting any love and feeling terrible growing up, but for some reason, my sister did not make it much easier. Now, initially, I did not hate my sister. I loved her. I never blamed her for any of this, and the people I blamed were our parents, as they needed to realize the fact that they also had a son to raise. But I never once looked at her with any jealousy, hate, or any negative emotion. Just like them, I cared about her too, and that's why I never said no when my parents asked me to take care of her. Sometimes it did feel like they only saw me as a caretaker for her. But that's okay because she was my sister. Or at least I believe that was our relationship at the time. The more I spent with my sister, the more I realized that she did not care about me. She looked at me like I was her servant and made me do everything. One day I even broke down in front of her, telling her how I felt and that she was the only one I thought of as a family. But even she did not care about me. But she just laughed at me and made fun of me for being unimportant. I don't really know if she hated the fact that I was healthy or if she just genuinely hated me for other reasons, but she never liked me, and slowly even my love for her ran out. I don't know how long I was expecting to wait for her feelings towards me to change, but it never happened. Well, as the years went by and she got a bit better, her attitude towards me became even worse. She fully treated me as a servant, making me do everything and anything she wanted. And when I refused, she just pretended to get hurt or cry to make our parents mad at me. Obviously, my parents were really protective of her. So anytime something happened to her, I would always get punished, and because of this, I didn't really get to have a childhood, as I spent most of it taking care of her, and honestly, if she had been nice to me and treated me as a brother, I would have been happy to do so. But the fact that she bullied me and hated me made taking care of her the worst thing to do. Even my early adulthood, by the time I went to college, was wasted because of her. By the time I became a teenager, I could not wait to leave my home and cut all of them off. I was right in thinking so because nobody there cared about me, and I hated what had become of my life. I wanted to have a different one. My sister had gotten a lot better by the time she started college, and when I started, she did not need a lot of attention. Still, I had to look after her from time to time, but I was still happy with the time that I got. Then, right before I finished college, I made a decision that I was going to leave my home and my family, who made my life hell, and start a new one. I was sure I could get a good job, and after my sister had sabotaged my then relationship just for fun, I knew I could not stay there any longer. So, a few months after I completed college, I took all my stuff and moved out of my home. I didn't cut contact with my parents, and I told them that I had moved away. They were very mad and gave me an ultimatum to either return home or get cut off. And you could probably guess which one I chose. So, it's been a few years since then, and I know that my sister got married to a wealthy guy about 2 years after I left home. But other than that, I had no information about anyone until 2 weeks ago when my parents contacted me. After a few months of moving to a new city to start a fresh life, I met Ash through some mutual friends. We hit it off and have been dating ever since, and we live together. I can't stress this enough, but these few years have been the happiest for me, and I love my life now. So 2 weeks ago while I was working, I get a call from an unknown number. When I picked it up, I found out that it was my father, and I immediately cut the call, as I did not want to speak to him. I already knew that the only reason he would call would be to ask something from me, and I was right on the money. He texted me saying he just wanted a few minutes of my life. I just said no and blocked him, and at this point I was fully sure that I wanted nothing to do with my family. Then I get a text from my mom who starts emotionally blackmailing me into agreeing to hear them out. I told her that I was not interested and that I did not want to talk to them even once. I told them I was very happy without them and did not need them meddling in my life. Dad still kept trying to contact me, but I kept refusing. Then when I told this to my girlfriend, she tells me that I was doing the wrong thing by not listening to them. Now she knows everything that happened to me, but she has a very kind heart, so I just thought she was being nice and told her they don't deserve it. But then she shocked me by telling me that she was saying all this for me. She told me that my family had made my life hell, and even after all these years, I feel a strong dislike towards them. She wanted me to face them and let all of this go while hearing them out and seeing if I could help. She told me even if they were lousy parents, they were still my parents and deserved at least a minute of my time. I'm not here to debate about this because she was right here. Even I'll admit it, I was trying to avoid my parents because I didn't want to find out how to, talk to them, and how it would make me feel. But running away from your emotions is not really that great. But I still struggled to make the right decision. After over a week of thinking it out, I finally decided that she was right. I need to talk to them and see what's going on. I never had any intention of helping them, but I also had not decided in advance. I wanted to see what their problem was and decide based on how I felt, so I called Dad. And Mom was also there. He asked if I could meet them, but I declined and asked what he wanted, and he starts by apologizing for cutting contact and told me he did not realize how I felt all these years. I told him to stop the emotional manipulation and just get to the point already. He then did something that really surprised me. I already knew that it was absurd that they thought after all these years they could just come ask me for help, expecting me to agree, but what he said shocked me. He told me my sister needed my help. Can you believe the audacity of my family? And as soon as I heard her name, it made me so mad. So without even hearing what the thing was, I refused and told them stop trying to contact me. Why would I help my sister, right? I felt that it was the best thing to do, but Ash disagrees. She says that I should have heard them out and then said no if I didn't like what I heard. It's been a few days now, and she's begging me to give them a chance and see what's really going on. I think that cutting them off immediately is a great idea, but she does not agree. And this is why I'm here to ask you guys what the best way to deal with this is. So please tell me what I should be doing in this situation. Update number 1. Hey guys, so it's been 2 weeks since my post, and I want to start this by thanking everyone who gave me advice, no matter what you suggested. If you tried to help, I want you to know that I appreciate it. Because in the end, it did help me decide what was the best thing to do in my situation. And yes, I did end up making a decision. Let me continue from where I left off. So, if you guys remember, I had written my post to ask you guys for help as I was having trouble making a decision if I should help my parents. I did agree to help at the start, but when they mentioned that it was my sister who needed help, I immediately said no and refused to talk to them. Now, because my girlfriend was telling me I made a mistake, I was reconsidering my decision. But no matter how much I thought about it, I just didn't feel I was ever going to help her. I don't think I have to explain why, right? I mean, she tormented me for over 20 years. I never wanted to see her face again. Forget helping her. I want to make something clear. I do not hate my parents or even my sister. I don't love them anymore, but I don't hate them. If that were the case, I would never have even told my girlfriend that they were trying to contact me. Without my girlfriend, I would have never agreed to speak to them. No matter how I feel about my family, I never want them to suffer or be in trouble, and I normally would help if I could. But helping my sister, or even thinking about it, made me feel so angry. Because I had done so much for her over the years, and she still treated me as a servant rather than a brother. She never had any love for me, so obviously I knew it was useless to help her. But after thinking a lot and reading all your suggestions, I realized a lot of things. The main was that I was blaming both my sister and parents a little too much. I never realized until one of you pointed it out that she never got to have a childhood either, and spent most of her life being sick. She was probably bitter with everyone, and maybe she took it out on me. I never considered, how she would feel, as I always assumed that she just straight up hated me. Also, my parents did their best with but missed when it came to me. But this did not mean they hated me. I'm not trying to say I started loving them again, but this did help me think that I should at least hear them out. My girlfriend also told me how I would probably regret it if something happened to her, knowing that I could have helped if I tried. She made me understand that although I did not hate my sister, I did not want her to be miserable and did not wish to inflict the same pain I felt. I was a better person than all of them, so hearing them out was the best option for me. I liked her argument, and since I had already decided that I was going to hear them out, I just told her that I was going to talk to them again. So I contacted my parents, who told me that they were coming to my city in a few days to try to convince me. I agreed to meet with them, but I had no idea what they were about to ask me, and honestly, if I had, I would not have bothered to even meet up with them, and you know what? That's a fact. So I meet them and asked them to directly come to the point about what they wanted me to do. Then they went ahead and told me the most absurd thing I'd ever heard in the form of a request. Dad told me that my sister had a young son, Charlie, and I was happy for her. He told me that she had just gotten divorced and she needed to take care of him. So it turns out that her husband had cheated on her and divorced her when she found out, so she was left with her son. Throughout all this, I was left wondering what they wanted me to do about this. Well, they wanted me to take her son in and raise him for her since she could not. Can you believe what you just read? I could not even understand at first and asked them to repeat it. Dad said again that they wanted me to help raise her son by taking him in. So I told them that they should raise the son if she doesn't want to or can't. And they said that they can't raise another kid. And I was the only one who could do it. I was so surprised by this that I just came home without even saying no. I told them that I was going to talk to my sister first, and I'll tell you that my girlfriend was really surprised and didn't even believe me at first. She also thinks that I should talk to my sister first and see what's really going on. Obviously, I'm not going to take that child in, but I want to talk to her just once. Update number 2. Hey guys, it's been over a month since my last update and a lot of things have happened. For some unknown reason, my life has turned out to be full of surprises as I learned a few more shocking things this past month. Let me explain what happened. So after my last update, like I mentioned, I spoke to my sister, but the things she said did not make any sense to me. I asked her why she was asking me to raise her son, and she told me that she could not take care of her son alone and needed help from me. I told her why me. She said it's because I was family and she trusted me more than anybody else. So I told her that she did not treat me like a family before, and she said that, well, she was stupid and angry then and had grown a lot. She even apologized for her past mistakes and said that she genuinely needed my help. When I asked her why my mom or dad could not help, she said that she did not want to bother them with this, plus they could not raise her son like I could. She promised to pay as much as possible for him, but asked me to help a little. She even offered for me to stay with her and take care of her son, but since I had a fiancé, she thought it would just be better for me to take her son completely. When I asked her the reason, she would have no problem staying away from the kid. She told me she just wanted what was best for him. So, I asked her if her ex-husband Nate was still rich. She said yes. So I suggested, obviously, the logical thing to do. I told her that if she did not want or, can't raise her kid, she should just give him to her ex. And she got so mad at me. She told me that it was not an option and that her ex was a horrible human being. She told me never to contact him, and in the future, if he ever tried to contact me, to run away. Please tell me if this behavior seems weird to you guys too, because it seemed very weird to me. The way she talked about her ex-husband and how she acted made me think that there was something going on. Also, she told me that I would not have to look after her kid for a long time as she had a plan. All this just felt weird to me that after we finished speaking, I started trying to find her ex-husband's contact information. A week later, I found it, and he told me that he was going to be in my city in about a week. Apparently, he had no idea that I was doing well here, as the way she and my parents spoke of me made him believe that I either passed away or was in jail. I then asked him what's going on with him and my sister, and he tells me something that was very, very shocking. He said that he had, found out that my sister was just using him for his money and did not care about him or their son. But when he tried to divorce her, she took the kid using fake evidence and made him look like a bad person. Well, he was made to pay a small alimony and a huge child support, which is helping her do whatever she wants with herself. When I told him that she was asking from me, he told me that he knew that she could not raise his son for even a few months. He told me that she was trying to blackmail him by using his son to take money from him, and he said that she never cared about the son and did not even want children. His story already seems so believable. But after he showed proof of my sister trying to get the money from him, she even threatened to mistreat her son to get it. He said she was asking for a fortune to give him back, and this had left him in a pickle. I then did something. Even though I could have easily walked out of this, I told him that I was going to help him get his son back. I did this because I think that his son deserves to have a good childhood and be raised by the person who loves him. Update number 3. This is the final update of the story. Hey guys, it's been a few months and this time I have a good update, so let me straight into it. It's not very long. So over a week after my last update, I talked about my sister and told her if she truthfully answered my questions, I would take care of her son. I even told her I would not need any money from her and would fully take care of him. Obviously, this got her really interested. So we had a conversation and I recorded everything. I asked her why she wanted me to take care of her son, and she told me the truth. Not the part where she was trying to blackmail her ex for a fortune using him, but she did not want to raise a son. She told me that she was not good at being a mom and hated raising a child. She said that she was not capable of raising children and that she just did not even like raising the kids at all. To drive the point home, she told me she did not even like raising her own kid. This was more than enough, but she continued to talk and tell me things about how she was an incompetent mother. She told me that she truly disliked being a mom, and after about half an hour of that convo, I had more than enough to get her in trouble. After that, I took the recording and gave it to Nate, and he could not believe everything that I've done. I told him that I did not want his son to have a childhood I had. He then thanked me and started the process of getting his boy back. After about 2 months of court back and forth, he easily defeated her in the custody battle and got full custody of his son. Obviously, my sister was devastated and shocked at my betrayal. She was angry and tried to talk to me several times, but I kept ignoring her. I kept refusing to talk to her, and at first my parents supported her, as she told them that I had made up fake evidence. But as soon as they found out the cold hard truth about why she tried to do what she did, she had lied to them about why she could not raise him. And when they found out that she just wanted the money, they could not believe it. They ended up kicking her out of the house that they had let her live in and stopped giving her money. Obviously, because of the custody, she lost the child support and the alimony too. This meant that she had no source of money, and for the first time in her life, she's probably looking for a job. Last I heard, she moved in with a friend who quickly kicked her out when she realized she was only going to boss her around. A week ago, my sister texted me begging for money, but I just ignored her. My girlfriend is not really happy that all of this left my sister miserable, but honestly, it's her fault. So I don't feel bad about it. Anyways, thanks for sticking around, guys. See ya.